Before we start working with MongoDB and create some databases and collections and learn how to perform CRUD operation on it, let's first understand documents in more detail. In the introduction lecture, we had a brief overview of what document is and how we store data using documents in a collection. In this lecture, let's understand documents a little bit in more detail. So, what is a document? As we have learned, MongoDB is a NoSQL database that stores data in a flexible JSON-like format called as documents. Documents are the fundamental unit of data in MongoDB, and it is equivalent to rows in relational databases, but far more flexible and expressive. A document is a data structure composed of field and value pairs, similar to JSON object, and it is stored in BSON format internally, which allows for faster processing and additional data types not supported by JSON. So BSON, you can say it is a superset of JSON data format, because in BSON you have more data types than what is supported in JSON format. This is how a document looks like. As we learned, a document is nothing but a JSON-like object. In that object, we have fields which consist of key value pair. Key is the name of the field and value is the value assigned to that field. In this case, this underscore ID is a field which is assigned with this value, the string value 12345. This name is a field which is assigned with this value John Doe. This email is a field which is assigned with this value johndoe@example.com. This age is again another field in this document which is assigned with this value 30. So a document is nothing but a JSON-like object where we have key value pairs. Each key value pair is called as a field of that document. Now, a field can store simple values like string values, number values, boolean values, etc. A field can also store a list of values. It can store an array, like you can see here. In the skills field, we are storing an array, and this array is a list of string values. A field can also store embedded documents. You see, to this address field, we are assigning another document. And in that document also, we have some fields, we have some key value pairs. But this document is present inside this outer document. So that's why it is called as embedded document. So a field can also be assigned with an embedded document. Now, MongoDB documents are schemaless. That means the structure of two documents in the same collection can differ. If you see here, let's say these two documents are the user documents present in the users collection. So both of these documents are part of same collection. But if you see, the first document does not have a gender field, but the second document has a gender field. And the first document has the age field, but the second document does not have the age field. So both of these documents are present in the same collection, but they have a different structure. And that is completely okay in MongoDB. And that's why we say that the documents of MongoDB collections are schemaless. They don't have any predefined schema. Two or more documents in the same collection can store different fields and different number of fields. One more thing which you need to understand about documents is that a document will always have an underscore ID field, even if you don't specify it. So whenever you will insert a document in a collection, if you don't specify an underscore ID field there, it will be created by MongoDB. So for example, let's say we inserted this document in the users collection. There we explicitly specified the underscore ID field and we provided some value for it. So this value will be saved for that underscore ID field in the document. But let's say this document, when we were inserting it, we did not specify the underscore ID field at all. At that time, MongoDB will create this underscore ID field implicitly and it will assign it with an object ID. This underscore ID field of a document is used to identify that document uniquely. And that's why this underscore ID field is very important for a document. Using this field, a document is identified uniquely in a collection. So remember that when you don't specify the underscore ID field, it will be created by MongoDB implicitly. But if you have specified the underscore ID field explicitly and assigned it with some value, in that case, that value will be used for that underscore ID field. And the underscore ID value should be unique for each document in the collection. No two documents can have the same underscore ID value in the same collection. That is very important to understand. No two documents in the same collection can have the same underscore ID value. Okay. Then in MongoDB, there are a lot of supported data types. As we learned, in order to store data in MongoDB, we use BSON data format. And BSON format is a JSON-like format, but it supports more data types than JSON. BSON type has support for integer types like int32 and int64. It has support for string, boolean, arrays, objects. It also supports null type. It supports date type, object ID, binary data, regular expressions, double, and many other data types. So, for example, in this document, if you see, this underscore ID field is assigned with an object ID. This name field is assigned with a string value. This age field is assigned with a integer value. This is active is assigned with the boolean value. This last login, it is assigned with a date value. You can see this ISO date. This signifies that this value which is assigned to this last login, it is a date value. Okay, this tags is assigned with an array, and this profile picture, it is assigned with this binary data type. This bin data is used to store binary data. And we are going to talk about this in a great detail in our coming lectures. But the point here to understand is that in BSON type, we have a support for lot many data types than JSON. And since MongoDB uses BSON format for storing the data, we can say that MongoDB supports a rich set of data types. Now, what is the difference between a document and a table row in a relational database? So, document is flexible, it is schema-less, but table rows of a relational database, it has a fixed schema. Then, documents support nested objects, but in case of relational database, it requires joins across related tables. Then, in documents, we have this underscore ID field, which is unique and it can be automatically generated if we don't explicitly specify the underscore ID field for a document. But this underscore ID is always going to be a unique field. It is always going to have a unique value. And in case of relational databases, each table has a primary key. That primary key column also stores a unique value. Then in document, we store data in a JSON-like format. We call it as BSON. But in relational database, the data is represented using tables with rows and columns. Now, what are the advantages of using a document? Well, as we have learned, documents are schema-less. Two or more documents in the same collection can have different fields and different number of fields. So in that way, document provides more flexibility. Also, it allows storing related data in one of the same document. So in MongoDB, a document can store related data by using embedded documents, and we call it as embedded relationships. Then MongoDB provides powerful query operators to work with document structures like querying nested fields, arrays, etc. And since we are using JSON-like syntax in order to store the data, for developers who are already familiar with JavaScript and JSON, it will be easier for them to understand and work with documents. Now, documents also have some limitations. For example, a single document cannot exceed 16 MB in size. In a collection, each document should have a maximum of 16 MB size. It cannot exceed that. Another limitation is, since we don't have any schema enforced on the documents of a collection, it can lead to inconsistent data if not carefully managed. For example, in the products collection, you can insert a user document and MongoDB will not complain about that because by default there is no enforced schema. So two documents can have completely different fields and different number of fields. So this can lead to inconsistent data if it is not carefully managed. And with this, now I hope you have a clear picture of what a document is and how it stores data in the collection. A document stores data in a JSON-like format called as BSON, which supports more data types than JSON. And BSON stands for binary JSON. When storing the BSON data in the MongoDB collection, first it gets converted to binary format and then it is saved. MongoDB does this to make querying data faster because binary data can be fetched more faster than the simple text data. Alright, so from the next lecture, let's start working with MongoDB server and let's learn how to create databases, collections, and how to perform CRUD operation on them. In the next lecture, we will learn how to create a database, list all databases, drop a database, etc. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.